Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, and welcome to my channel. You know, I went through a really serious sickness with Elvis. I'm sorry I don't have footage of what he looked like during that time, but I will share what he went through, and I want you to see how he is completely healed and back to normal. So please stay tuned. Here we are looking at my 75-gallon aquarium home to my Jack Dempsey Elvis. His tank mate in this tank was Loki, the little red devil. There is now one more fish in here that you can see. I believe it's a firemouth. He was in the red devil's aquarium at PetSmart and labeled as such. And I did point that out to them and they had no idea. Elvis is doing well now, but boy, was he sick for a few weeks. I am so happy he's made a full recovery. Elvis had developed white pustules on the side of his face. It looked like he had pieces of popcorn stuck on the side of his head. His right eye was completely white, surrounded by this infection. It looked horrific, bulging out to at least double the size it should have been. The pustules were above and around his eye. Some were as big as peas. I don't know what it was. I have never seen something like this before. To examine him closely, I removed him from the tank and laid him on a platter covered with a towel, and then I added water to just barely cover the towel to keep him wet and comfortable. I used surgical gloves as I looked him over, as I didn't know if I could catch whatever this was. Taking a small knife, I carefully scraped away the pus. The sore beneath was raw and red, smaller than the pustule that covered it, but still significant. After 2 full weeks of tetracycline treatments added to the aquarium, followed by daily baths of tetracycline baths for another week, Elvis came through it with flying colors. There is no evidence that he was sick at all. I have not used any product that works as well as powder tetracycline for infection, bacteria outbreaks, or even small injuries from scrapes or fighting. Now, I should mention I'm not fond of using medications unless there's no other option. I do not like using tetracycline, mainly because it turns the water so dark brown and it's hard to see through. Although there are times where you have no choice and must go to a medicine for treatment. During this time, Elvis rarely came out of his tube and didn't eat the entire time. The first time he came out to eat was during the end of the second week, and he only would come out for worms. He refused his pellets. I was really scared I may lose him. After a strict regime of meds and good care, he has come full circle and is back to normal. Loki was in the tank the entire time. He had absolutely no evidence of any sickness, but because he was exposed, there was no point in removing him, and he may as well be treated at the same time. So that's why he remained in the tank. After 3 weeks of treatment and a full week of complete recovery and a couple water changes, I added a small firemouth cichlid. I just wanted to make sure the tank was disease-free. I thought by adding a small new fish, I would be able to tell if he got sick. And I also wanted to add a fish that Elvis wouldn't eat and that could possibly become a tank mate and stay with these guys. So that's why I chose a firemouth. The little firemouth is doing okay, although he was a little battered. Loki is not a nice fellow, constantly badgering him. Now it's been a couple weeks, and the little firemouth seems to have been standing up to Loki, and Loki is starting to leave him alone. I am planning on rehoming Loki and then possibly adding a couple less aggressive fish, South American cichlids. to this tank. I do want to do something new with this tank, keeping Elvis as the focus. So I'll be looking into what would be a good match for Elvis and the Firemouth. If you have suggestions, I would love to hear them. I was even considering maybe I should get Elvis a girlfriend. But as far as Loki, I don't know. He has to really earn his spot. And right now, he's not behaving well enough to be staying. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.